This video is going to walk through the process of a provider entering their worksheet in ServiceLink. Here I'm logged in as Diane Dawson, my provider, and she's been on a couple of jobs. Right now she has worksheets due on both of those jobs. And the way she knows that is in this green tile there are 2 incomplete worksheets. And then also in the items due list I have a worksheet that is now overdue because it was due on the 9th, and then a transcript in a worksheet that are not yet due, but they are still due, so they show on my list. She can go to those worksheets by clicking on the tile or clicking on the assignment numbers. So let's click on the tile, and here we'll go to the job list of all the jobs that are needing a worksheet. Now, one thing I want to point out here is when a provider is viewing the job list or the job details of a job, they will see a deliver by date. This deliver by date could be coming from their checkout. So if they entered a different deliver by date in checkout than what was on the original assignment, then they will see their deliver by date from checkout. If there's another provider on the job, they may have a different checkout deliver by date because they could be doing video, which has a different deliver by date. So they will see their own deliver by date from checkout, or if there's no date there, they will see the assignment deliver by date. So we're going to go to one of the jobs that needs a worksheet done, and we'll walk through that process. There's a staff progress menu option here, and that will show their check-in and check-out information. Here they can modify this if anything was incorrect and they need to resubmit it. The worksheet is under that menu option. The worksheet, it consists of 5 different sections. The first section is the checkout or check-in and check-out information, and they can also add files here. So if they haven't checked out yet, or if they need to update any checkout information, they can do that all within the worksheet as well. They can attach files here in this first section too. The next section is expenses. If you reimburse your providers for expenses, then they can enter those expenses here. They can click on the Add button and select one of the expense types and enter their information. Anytime you edit one of the sections, you'll need to save before you move to another section. The next section is the deponents. So here it lists any deponents that were on the original assignment, but then they can add other deponents as well. Since I only had one deponent on this job, then it defaults that information from the checkout information. But I can change this as needed. For example, if I want to put in the billable hours, starting and ending pages, read and sign information, if there's a note about the read and sign, or if it was waived. That's just a note field to enter. You can put in the exhibit numbers. If they know the exhibit pages, they can enter that. They can also enter in 0 to 0 for the starting and ending exhibit numbers if they did not have any exhibits. Now each provider on the assignment sees this deponent section together. So if there's a videographer on the assignment, they would go in and check video. The reporter doesn't need to do that. Either one can check it to indicate that there was video. You can also edit a deponent name in case it's misspelled by clicking on the edit button. So let's say this was misspelled. We enter the correct spelling and we hit save. Now if there is another deponent, we can hit the Add Deponent button. We can select an existing deponent from the case. That should be the first choice to look for one that already exists for that case. They can also hit New Deponent, click on New Deponent, and it will open up the name fields for them to enter a brand new deponent name. And here they can enter the start and end times for that deponent. Let's see. And fill out all the other information about that deponent. These sections collapse so that you can view each deponent information by just clicking on the bar. Now since we extended this assignment for 2 deponents, I'm going to go update the checkout information. Most likely that was not entered incorrectly to begin with. The next section is section 4, the attorneys present. So here by default it will show the attorney that was already that had scheduled the assignment. Here they can select who they were on behalf of and which deponents. You can also add the other attorneys that were present. There are different ways to add another attorney. You want to work your way from left to right to make sure that you select any existing attorneys in the system before you add any new ones. So here you can see if that attorney that was present was already on the case, and you can select them. Or you can look for another attorney that may not have been on that case. Or if you can't find an attorney that already exists, you can click on the Add New Attorney button. Here you'll enter their name, their title, which is they are an attorney. You may have other titles in your system. The email address and phone number is optional. If you want them to be able to get into ServiceLink to see their information, then you would add an email address here. When you're adding an attorney or even a deponent from the worksheet, it does not insert their information into the live data. It is merely putting it on the worksheet, and then when it comes into Solaria, the office people will have a chance to review the new information and add it to Solaria, or look to see if there really is an existing person that already exists with that same name. That way your providers are not adding live data themselves. You have a chance to review it first. Next, you can select the client that they are with by typing in a name, and it will do a search for you. If you don't have that client name in the database, they can click Add and enter the information for a brand new client. Again, this does not put that information into the live database. It just puts it on the worksheet for the office to review it. We'll go ahead and select an existing one. And you can select the on behalf of as needed. I'm going to add one more attorney for one that already exists. That way we kind of have a variety to show you how those work. Then the next section is the orders. You will create an order for each attorney present if they ordered something. So to do that, you click on their name which drops open their section, and you can click on Start New Order. You only have to do this if they ordered something. There's a billing section and a shipping section. So if everything is going to that same attorney, you don't need to change these, but you can change who it's billed to or who it's shipped to as needed. You would select another party, enter in their information, and it would find any matches that you have in your database. Then you want to select the address of that client on where it should be billed to. Shipping information is pretty much the same way. If you don't find a person in the database to bill to or ship to, you can just enter a name. And then add in a new address for them. You can also enter their client case number and a deliver by date. Now the next section on the order is for the products they are ordering by deponent. So you'll see tabs for each deponent. If they have a standing order, you can use the Get Standing Order button and it will fill in the order they want for all their orders. And this is just a default. You can add other items as you need to. The quantity is how many of those items they're ordering. It is not the hours or pages from the other sections of the worksheet. You can, on subsequent tabs for other deponents, you can copy from the first deponent all the order items that were ordered. So you can do this on each attorney that needs an order. If they do not have a standing order, then the Get Standing Order button will be grayed out. Click on Save to save all of the orders. Now that we've gone through all the sections, we can click on the Complete Worksheet where it'll show a review summary of all of the sections in one page. So here the provider would go through and make sure that they've entered everything correctly. They can print it off from here if they'd like to. And when they have all the information entered, they'll click on the bottom checkbox called Mark this worksheet as complete. Now there is a warning message on here that once they've completed it, they can't make changes to it. That means it's going to submit to Celeria, or Celeria can fetch it and get all the information, and we're ensured that the provider is not going to make any changes on us again. So they hit complete to finalize it. At this time, there would be a notification that can be sent to the office that says the worksheet has been completed, if that notification has been turned on. At this time, I want to show you some special reminder notifications that can be set up. So we're going to